Okay, fresh, unfiltered Stranger Things finale thoughts. I was really, really unsure about this season at first. I mean, I was really unsure. I easily think that the first batch of episodes alone, probably the worst in the series. That's just my opinion. Like, sorry. Um, so I was really nervous about this finale. I feel like I my expectations were really all over the place. I was really hoping that it would tie everything together and have like a satisfying ending, but I was really worried that they might drop the ball and like pull a Game of Thrones. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones, but like it was just like I was really, really concerned that it was not going to live up to the expectations. Although my first unfiltered impression, first time watch, easily the best episode in the season, in season 5. I thought it was satisfying. I felt like it was kind of wild. It was crazy. I knew they weren't going to kill Steve. I knew it. I knew that they wouldn't do it. And actually, I'm like kind of surprised that more people didn't die. You know, the fact that the only deaths in the main group that we got, Kali, which it's like, okay, like, yeah. But then I predicted this for forever that 11 was not going to make it. And I kind of figured that it was going to be in this kind of way, the whole like sacrifice herself kind of martyr situation. I feel like the way that she did it, I don't really know how I feel about the end result of her not making it to the end. I guess I don't really know how I feel about that in particular. It feels kind of like she just kind of I feel like that they needed to spend some more time developing her true feelings because it kind of just feels like Kali suggested it and then she was like, "Okay, that's the only way." Like there was like no other like what was her true feeling about it? Like I feel like that this is like one of my bigger complaints of this season was I feel like we spent too much time on the wrong characters and I love the character. I love, okay, it's like strangely enough, a lot of the characters that I feel had the best writing and like satisfying kind of conclusions are my favorite characters, like Steve and Nancy and Jonathan. I feel like, and Robin, I suppose. Like, I feel like that the older kids all had really, really good tied up stories. Like, I was really, I also, when I first saw the breakup between Jonathan and Nancy, I did not register that as a breakup. I feel like that was not very clear, but in the end, I understand, even though I love Jonathan and Nancy personally. I'm glad that they did not end up together. And I'm also glad that Steve and Nancy did not end up together. And I'm glad that they all went their own way. I think that that was the most natural choice for them. And I thought that was really, really satisfying the way that they chose to wrap all of that up with them. I thought that was really cool. Um, and I feel like that those four had the best things to do, and Dustin in the whole in the whole season, in the whole last season. But unfortunately, I think a lot of the other characters really were neglected. Like I feel like what the fuck is Joyce Byers doing with an axe in like the Eldritch horror cosmic like wormhole situation, okay? Like why like there's fireworks going on outside right now. It's New Year's Eve, literally. um what the fuck is Joyce Byers doing with an axe in like it's like are they doing fireworks outside my front door right now? Maybe. Um I feel like what was she? I feel like Joyce was kind of just there. Like she was such an important part of the series at first. And then she just kind of like I feel like this season I was glad in the end that her and Hop went to Enzo's and they got engaged. That was really sweet. I like that. I'm glad they got that ending. But also, like, what was she doing the entire like last 2 seasons, like going to Russia and fighting Russians and then going into the abyss armed with nay but an axe to fight the eldritch like cosmic horror on the other side. That was crazy. Like, what in the world? And Mike to me in like the first 2 seasons is like the main character. He is like the character that by which we are experiencing the story through. Like, he's like the guy. He's the story takes place primarily in his basement for the first like 2 seasons. And then just by the end of it, he's just like a side character. Like, I feel like he was horribly neglected. And I feel like, I feel like the ending, the satisfying ending with them graduating and playing D&D in the basement was really sweet. I loved Dustin and graduation. That was awesome. But I just feel like throughout, that like in the finale itself, I thought was handled, like everyone got a good amount of screen time, everyone got a good amount of stuff, but I fear it does not make up for the like total lack of writing for these characters in the last like 2 seasons probably. I mean, like season 4 was all right, I feel, I liked season 4. I like all the other seasons, really. Season 5 has got to be my least favorite overall. I think just because the episodes leading up to the finale were just not good. And like maybe I could elaborate on that if I spend some time thinking about it, but like fresh off the cuff feelings of watching the finale, I feel like the finale was really good, but it just, I don't know if it made up for the entire season. Now we got to talk about before I'm done with these thoughts, I have to talk about the eldritch horror in the abyss. Did anybody see that coming? I mean, like, first of all, I felt like the explanation of things, of the stranger things, if you will, was kind of crazy. Like, it being the wormhole, like the science experiment gone wrong, like in the dark matter or whatever. Like, it was just like, it was just kind of like, oh, like it's, like when Dustin was like, oh, it is science, like, hold on. And it was like, oh, okay. And then we get into the abyss, just fucking 6 teenagers and a 45-year-old woman armed with an axe go into another cosmic dimension, I guess. And then they literally fight the massive eldritch horror kaiju spider mind flare monster, which I did kind of like. I've seen some people predict that it was going to be the mind flare all along, which I am kind of happy with, strangely. Now, the eldritch horror kaiju situation was fucking bonkers. Like, fucking bonkers. Like, I cannot believe that is where this shit ended up going, but I kind of liked it. Like, in like kind of a fucking absurd way. It was pretty sweet. Like, I feel like I never would have expected that from season 1, but here we are, and I kind of liked it. I feel like it kind of saved the season for me in a way, because it was just like fucking crazy. Like, I don't know, like maybe it's like the recency bias, but that was just wild. Like, oh my god. Nancy having yet another Rambo moment. I don't know why she didn't become a Navy SEAL, like, honestly. She just went back to being a reporter. I mean, sure, yeah, like, after, that was wild, though, and then fucking Jonathan with a flamethrower, and then Lucas with the slingshot still, against the eldritch horror, and they beat it! Like, they fought an eldritch horror kaiju fucking cosmic being with, like, an AK-47, a flare gun, a slingshot, a flamethrower, and, like, a fucking knife tied to a stick. And then the psychic, of course, doing the main damage. But, like, that's wild if you think about it. That's fucking crazy. And then they just have to go back to living their lives after that. Like, I don't know how I wouldn't be able to recover either. Like, I'm with Mike. He's like, how the fuck am I supposed to just pretend like none of that just fucking happened? Like, I feel like that they would all need, none of them would be able to return to normalcy after witnessing that. Like, don't you feel like it would, like, break your psyche, like, seeing something like that? I mean, like, I know it's a show, but I just feel like they are not traumatized enough. Like, I feel like Barb's disappearance was more traumatizing to Nancy than what the fuck she witnessed in the abyss. That was fucking crazy. And yet it was my favorite part of the finale, strangely. I thought it was good. I really enjoyed the finale. I think those are my final thoughts. I really did enjoy the finale. I still think season 5 was probably the worst out of all of the Stranger Things seasons, unfortunately. But the finale really brought me back. It brought me back, and I enjoyed it. And on rewatch, because I love to rewatch Stranger Things, like, it's one of my favorite shows. I'll probably rewatch the earlier seasons more. And I could definitely see myself, you know, like, on, like, a series rewatch, maybe skipping a couple of season 5 episodes, like, or, like, kind of not, like, it just kind of being more of a background show than one that I'm, like, really actively engaged in, unfortunately. But overall, still pretty happy with it. I would say finale alone rating, like a 7.5 out of 10. That was pretty good. Season 5 overall rating, probably like a 5, like, overall. The finale really does a lot for it. And then probably, you know, ranking all of the seasons, season 5 probably at the bottom. Then you know what? I'm just gonna go out on a limb and be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, straight up, like, 1 will always be the best season. What different world could have been if we got the anthology that it was originally intended to be. But anyways, that's my unfiltered thoughts. Okay, goodbye.